Hello everyone, I'm Heather, and in today's video I'm going to tell you all the ways that I saved money on our Walt Disney World trip. If you find value in this video and want to make sure that other people get to see it too, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up, because that tells YouTube to show it to more people. Alright, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be talking about the trip that we're taking to Walt Disney World ahead of our cruise in August of 2024. The reason we decided to add on a trip to Walt Disney World before our cruise is because my oldest son, Andrew, has not been to Walt Disney World since March of 2015. So it's been almost 10 years since Andrew's been to Walt Disney World, and so much at Walt Disney World has changed since he's been there. And there's so many things he hasn't seen. One of them is the Disney Skyliner, which I'm wearing the shirt today, which I bought last time we were there when we stayed at Pop Century Resort. They had this for sale in the resort gift shop. The last expansion or reimagining that he was able to experience at Walt Disney World was the Fantasyland expansion that happened like around 2013. We were there in 2012 and Andrew was with us, and it was the old way. And then when we went in 2015 and Andrew was with us, the Fantasyland expansion had been completed. So he saw that. But he has not seen the construction of Tron. None of us have ridden Tron yet. He has not seen all the changes at Epcot, which we haven't even seen all of those yet because a lot of them are very recent. He has not seen so much change at Hollywood Studios, including Toy Story Land. He has not seen any of Galaxy's Edge, and he's a huge Star Wars fan. And he's also a huge fan of Avatar, and he hasn't seen Pandora at Animal Kingdom. So I really wanted him to get to experience these things, and so that's why we decided to add this trip on before our cruise. Now, I had already paid a lot of money for us to go on this cruise on Utopia of the Seas. That was all paid for. I'm going to talk to you today about the things that I was able to control before the trip, because at the time I'm filming this, we haven't actually gone yet, but everything that I can pay for ahead of time has already been paid for. And then I'm going to be making another video, which I'll talk to you about at the end of this one, when we come back to give you a little bit more insight into what some things cost. Okay, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss that video and the vlogs that I film at Walt Disney World when we're there. Okay, so the first way that I saved money on this Walt Disney World trip was our dates. We're going in August of 2024. Yes, we're going to Walt Disney World in Florida in August. Yes, I know the weather is not ideal. It is going to be very, very hot, and there is a pretty significant chance that it will probably rain, at least some of the time. We have been to Walt Disney World in the summer before. I went there twice in July, once when I was a kid with my dad and my brother, and once over July 4th in 2022 with my younger two kids, and we actually had a great time. After that trip, and we had such a successful trip that time, I became a lot less frightened of going to Walt Disney World in the summer, because I saw that it is possible to go to Walt Disney World in the summer and still have a really positive experience, even when it's really hot. Walt Disney World, everything is kind of demand-based pricing. The price of your hotel rooms, your Disney resort on site, those really fluctuate based on demand and time of year. There's different seasons. The tickets at Walt Disney World are demand based. The price of Lightning Lane Multipass and Lightning Lane Single Pass will also go up and down depending on demand. So you can really maximize your savings if you can try to go to Walt Disney World at a time of year when those prices for all those things are lower. And that's when we're going. We're going at one of the actual cheapest times of year. It's hurricane season, it's hot, and also at the latter half of August, a lot of school districts are already back in session, especially in the southern United States. They must have air conditioning. We don't have, our schools around here, some of them still don't have air conditioning, and they just added air conditioning to our high school in the last couple of years. So when I went there, it didn't have AC, but this has been a real advantage for us. My birthday is in the second half of August. And so I always kind of want to take a trip around my birthday anyway. We will frequently take a big trip in the latter half of August because, number one, it's my birthday. But number two, on any kind of trip, you will see a dramatic drop in price when you get to the second half of August. And I really think it's because of lower demand, because a lot of kids are already back in school. Now, here in Wisconsin, there's actually a state law that you can't start schools before September 1st. It's because of the tourism industry in Wisconsin. We are still off school, but a lot of other families aren't. And so we can take advantage of that by getting lower prices on our trips to Disney or on cruises and things. So it's a great time for us to go, actually, price-wise. The second way that we're saving money on this trip is our flights. And what I mean by that is, first of all, there's also probably a little bit of lower demand, just like in the other aspects of the trip. But we were already going to be flying to Florida anyway. I had to get flights to Florida, to Orlando, for us to go on our cruise out of Port Canaveral on Utopia of the Seas. And so I just waited a little bit until I knew we were going to do this Disney trip first, and then I bought the tickets so that we could do two things with only one flight there and one flight back. So that saved us a whole additional flight of having to go to Florida if we did, Walt Disney World on the cruise separately. For me, Megan, and Ben, our tickets were $337 each, round trip Minneapolis to Orlando. For some reason, tickets from Boston to Orlando, the whole time I looked, were always significantly more expensive, and I really don't know why. Do people from Boston know? I don't know why the tickets out of Boston were so much more expensive, but they were never less than $400. And I think I finally ended up paying $442 for Andrew's ticket. So it was more than $100 more than for the rest of us. But we're still getting a whole Disney World trip and a cruise on that single flight. The third way that we're saving money on this Walt Disney World trip is by staying at a value resort. I definitely wanted to stay on site because, especially with Genie Plus going away and the new Lightning Lane single pass and multi-pass going into effect, it was very important to me that we're on site so I would get the on-site advantage of being able to book our Lightning Lanes 7 days ahead of our trip. I originally had us booked at All Star Sports, which is literally the least expensive resort on Disney property. It was going to be costing us an average of $140 a night. I am getting 2 rooms, one room for me and Megan and one room for the boys, because the value rooms are very small, which I'm going to be talking about in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. The price of Disney resort rooms changes kind of by night, like couple nights it'll be higher. The weekends I think are higher. Weeknights are a little lower. But the average for that stay was going to be $140 a night for each room. But the more I thought about it, the more I decided I really wanted to be on the Skyliner line because we love the Skyliner and it's a fabulous way to get to Epcot and Hollywood Studios quicker and more conveniently. And Andrew has never experienced the Skyliner. He's never even seen it. So I wanted to be at one of the Skyliner resorts instead. There are 2 value resorts on the Skyliner line, Pop Century Resort and Art of Animation Resort. I checked both. Art of Animation Resort did not have any Little Mermaid rooms left available. And the family suites at Art of Animation are too expensive. They're more in line with something between actually moderate and deluxe pricing. I switched us from All Star Sports to Pop Century, which is so funny. My initial impression of Pop Century the first time we stayed there, I didn't like it very much, but it's really grown on me, especially since the Skyliner station there opened. And it's now one of my favorite resorts. If I can afford to stay at a moderate or a deluxe, I certainly will. But if I have to stay at a value, I really like Pop Century. So we're staying at Pop Century, have 2 rooms, and it averages about $180 a night. So it's about $40 more per night than it was going to be to stay at All Star Sports. And just for your own reference, All Star Music and All Star Movies were in between, higher than $140 a night average and lower than $180. So they were in the $150, $160, $170 range. But by staying at a value resort, we're saving a lot of money on our hotel stay. The fourth way that I saved money on this trip was with my ticket purchase. Okay, first I have to tell you something that I found out accidentally, which is that the price you see when you first go online and look at ticket prices that they show you initially, that's not the whole price. You have to add tax. And tax can significantly bump up the price of your tickets if you're buying just tickets separately, which is what I did. There's two ways you can book a hotel and tickets at Walt Disney World. You can book a package, which includes your hotel, your tickets, and if you want to add it, the Disney dining plan. If you book a package, you only have to pay a $200 deposit, and then you have to pay the full balance of the package 30 days prior to your trip. But you also can't cancel inside of 30 days. What I did, which is the other way you can do it, is you can book a room-only reservation, and then you can buy your tickets separately. There can definitely be some advantages to this because it gives you a little bit more flexibility. Be aware, if you call and speak to the Disney cast members on the phone, they really try to push you into a vacation package. You have to be very firm with them that you only want a room-only reservation. If you don't want to mess with them, doing it wrong, then do it yourself online the way I did and just do a room-only and don't get a ticket. Don't book it at the same time. Just say no ticket. And then just do the room reservation and then buy your tickets completely separately in a different transaction. By booking room only and by buying my tickets separately, I only had to pay one night plus tax as the deposit. And then I don't pay for the rest of the hotel room until I check into the resort itself. So in that way, it's just like a regular hotel stay anywhere else you would stay. And you have until 7 days before to cancel. Okay, but with the tickets, if I had bought 4 regular 4-day tickets, so we're going for 4 days, we're just going to do one park each day, and there's 4 of us, me and my 3 kids, and this is before tax. If I bought 4 regular 4-day tickets, it was going to be $1,984 for the tickets, and that's based on the first day we use our ticket. Again, ticket prices at Walt Disney World fluctuate every day based on demand. It's demand-based pricing. So how they determine your price for the whole thing is the first day that you use the ticket. They also have a 4-day, 4-park magic ticket promotion right now that allows you to go to each of the 4 parks 1 day each. 1 day at Magic Kingdom, 1 day at Epcot, 1 day at Animal Kingdom, 1 day at Hollywood Studios. If I had bought that, it would have been $1,584. That's before tax. So that would have been $400 less than buying the regular 4-day park tickets. So that is a good promotion if you're interested in that. I don't think it lasts much longer, but it's in place this summer. But what I did, which saved me even more money, well, actually, no, it didn't. Now that I look at it, because of the tax, I ended up being in between the price of the 4-day promotion and the price of the regular 4-day tickets. So I still saved money over the regular 4-day tickets, but I did not end up saving money because of the tax. Maybe I would have if I added the tax to these other 2 I already mentioned, but I'm not sure. What I ended up doing was there's also a 3-day ticket deal right now that allows you to spend 1 day in each of the 3 parks other than Magic Kingdom. So it doesn't have magic in the title. It's just a 3-day park promotion. So it allows you to spend 1 day at Epcot, 1 day at Animal Kingdom, and 1 day at Hollywood Studios. And they don't have to be consecutive. You have to do them like within 5 days, I think, is what it is. We are going to be doing them basically consecutively, so that wasn't a problem anyway. But after tax, those tickets cost me, because that's what I bought, 3 park promotion, was $1,322.44. But we still want to go to Magic Kingdom, but we also have long wanted to go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. So I bought us 4 tickets to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and that cost $506.96 after tax. So I ended up spending $1,829 on our tickets. So more than the 4-day park promotion, but less than the regular 4-day tickets. And we get to go to the Halloween party, which we've never gotten to do. Now, we don't get the whole day in Magic Kingdom when we go to the Halloween party. The party runs from 7 to 11 or midnight. So it's 4 or 5 hours. but you're allowed to enter Magic Kingdom when you go to a party. So either the Halloween party or the Christmas party, which we went to last November, and I'll link a video up here so you can see what our experience was like there. You get to enter the park at 4. We have an extra 3 hours to spend in the park when we can go on rides and eat and see stuff and all that before the party. So we actually get about 7 or 8 hours in Magic Kingdom, which is a full day anyway. We just shifted a little later in the day, which can be to our benefit because once it gets dark, it'll be cooler. One thing you need to know though, if you're going to just a party and you didn't have a regular park ticket from that day, which I don't advise because that would be a waste of money, you can't get Lightning Lane single pass or Lightning Lane multi-pass because you don't have an actual park ticket for that day. You can't use Lightning Lane during the parties. The fifth and last way that I'm saving money on our Walt Disney World trip is on food. And the way that I am saving money is by not getting a package and not getting the Disney dining plan. I talked about this a little bit in this video recently where I talked about whether I recommend the Disney dining plan or not. I have learned from experience that it does not end up being a good value for us. And so once again, and this will be a little different because this time Andrew will be with us. So we're going to keep track of everything we eat and pay for food at Disney World on this trip. And then I'm going to make another video, which will be coming up after we get back from the trip. And I'm going to tell you exactly how much all of our food cost, what we spent, and whether we really did get a better deal by not getting the Disney dining plan. I can tell you right now that as of the time I'm filming this, the Disney dining plan would cost us $94 each per person per day. So for 4, actually, it would be more than this because we're actually staying 5 nights at our Disney resort. So I got to do the math quick. Okay, if we did the Disney dining plan on this trip for the 4 of us at the current price of $94 per night of our stay, it would be $1,880. So that's what we would spend if we got the Disney dining plan. I'm going to make another video when we get back from our trip. Please be sure you're subscribed. And I'm going to tell you exactly what we did spend on food. And I'm predicting that it's going to be a lot less than that. I certainly hope so anyway. Be sure you come back and watch that video so you can see what we actually spent and how it compared to what it would have cost us if we got in the Disney dining plan. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I'm really looking forward to bringing you content from Walt Disney World. The whole focus of our trip is going to be all the things that Andrew hasn't gotten to do yet. So I'm excited to see his reaction to all these things that we've experienced several times now, but he hasn't gotten to see or ride or experience. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Have a great day and safe travels.